Geronimo. Today we're going to go ahead and, I don't know, make a bow. Alright, so right now, I think last video I showed you where I was drawing it up and that I was gonna work it down to the rough dimension. Well, here I am. That's where I'm at. Alright, everybody, this is where I have taken all the wood off of the lines or up to the lines I drew. And so it's still not ready for a tiller. We're going to be straightening up the limbs. First, we're going to straighten up the limbs in this direction. For instance, this limb shoots straight up. Well, not straight up, but at an angle from the handle upwards. This one kind of swoops down here, right there. So we're going to straighten those up. The way we're going to do that is we're going to use a heat gun. And Jesse Garcia also said to cut out 2 pieces of 2x4, cut out some notches where the limbs sit in like so. And this is for a demonstration. I'm going to put this on here real quick. It's not exactly where I'm going to apply the pressure, but you will take some of ice or something. This is an awesome tool. Look at. Damn it, I want it all the way down here, but it's all the way up here, right? That might take forever. Hit this orange button. That's right. Nice little equipment here. So, and anyway, let's keep moving here. Let's go ahead and just say the I don't know, the gist of it. So we're going to take a heat gun. We're also going to use some oil. He said, I think he said, I can't remember though, vegetable oil or extra virgin olive oil, which I'm going to use. And you heat it up, you work this into it, and then you get it nice and heat it up so that it bends. Then you tighten this up in the area that you need it to be tightened. This even the bow stave might even be upside down. Might have its back on it if you want it to move in that direction. And you go a little bit past, maybe a ½ inch or so past where you want it to go, because it will take a slight set, not a whole big one, but a slight set. And you just keep on working it until you get it straight. So that is what are we gonna do? Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the places that I know that I'm gonna need to work on. And then I'm gonna go from there and just continue doing my thing until I get it to where I like it. So let's see. Now at this moment, we're just trying to keep the limb off the ground, off of the floor, off of the table. I'll get it right eventually. And I'm going to work this little spot right here. I might just put a little pressure here so it doesn't move around. Got me a little leather sock I put on here. Thought it was smart to do so I don't gouge out the back of the wood. Not moving. Okay. I need some paper towel. Alright, back with the paper towel. Make sure you use good ingredients. You want extra virgin olive oil. I mean, you want the primo stuff. Okay, this is Walmart brand. Let's get it going. The Queen beckons. Alright. Things are about to get weird. You want to put the oil down the hardwood, lather it up real good. Okay, let's stop that. Ew! Okay. Now I know extra virgin olive oil is flammable. Do I know the temperature of what is flammable? Do I think this seems like a silly idea? Well, I mean, it's relative. But I'm imagining if I don't get it hot enough, it's not going to turn on fire. Otherwise, you know, we screwed up. Let me keep it on low, maybe. Alright, so this is the first place that I'm going to work on. I've already got the oil saturated into it. I'm going to warm it back up. We've got it braced in these two spots, and we're going to put the vise down on this spot here. Okay, so let me go ahead and place something in there too so it doesn't move around very much. You get an aroma. You can start to smell that nice fragrance of the wood, and you can tell that it's starting to get in and starting to penetrate. It's the steam. You're not gonna miss it.
I sold a lot of bows lately. I mean, I had a whole bunch of bows. They were my personal bows. I mean, because I still got 1, 2, 3, 4. Look.
Getting nice and warm. And I'm going to just give it a test go here. And if it works, it's the real go.
5 bows out here that my personal bows, and I still need to get rid of several more. But every time I got to where every time I make a bow for somebody, I make one for me. You know, I make another bow for somebody else, I make another one for me. You know, I just loved it. You know, I just loved it. And when you love what you're doing, man, I mean,
yeah, it's better than monetary.
And you just don't get. You get good by breaking bows. I mean, and then you find out what works and what doesn't.
I believe that entirely.
Yeah. I mean, I've broken a lot of bows. I mean, and I got a video on the one that on the one that I broke.
Yeah, I remember watching it.
Yeah, I got a video on that one. I mean, that sucker broke. I mean,
we'll warm it up a little bit more.
I mean, because I had a knot that I put down just right. So I've done it hundreds of times the same way. And but what you never know is what's inside the wood, inside of it, that you don't see. And the knot had actually, once it broke, I seen what happened. I mean, the knot actually was a little decayed inside the wood.
Oh, yeah. Has some type of air pocket in there too, huh?
Exactly. And that's exactly what happened. So I was about just to get through finishing the bow when I pulled it down on a killing string, and then all of a sudden it went pow. That was it.
I know that feeling.
That was it.
Oh,
and
man.
Was that Ipe that you gave me?
Uh-huh.
That you sent me?
Is that the one?
The bow? No, that's another one. The Ipe.
Mm-hmm.
I had just.
So it's important to note that you don't want to keep it in the gun in one spot for too long. You don't want to burn it as much as possible. I'm not wanting to dry my wood. That might just be me. I've seen other people scorch it pretty good, but I figure I don't want to dry it up any more than I have to. And that might be the basis of the oil. Putting that in there, letting it penetrate, so you don't get that dryness in there. I mean, it's wood dries, you want it to cure and all of that stuff, but in excess, I think is probably not a good thing, personally. And we're gonna let this cool down, and we're gonna check it. It seems that it's actually correcting some of this propeller twist here as well. Alright, so I got this limb pretty straightened out. It's got a lot of those twists in it still. A little bit of that came out, but not a whole lot. We're going to do that later. Jesse said the most or the least amount of heats you can do, the better for the bow, because you don't want it to get brittle. It makes a whole lot of sense. So we're going to try to do that, keep it minimum. So now both limbs are kind of deflexing, I guess, or reflexing, I should say. So they're pointing towards the back, like that. Okay, and so I'm just gonna heat them up in this area, and then push down here, and that should straighten it up just fine. I wanted to mention I heard some crackling when I was making this bow, so I got a little worried. I immediately took it off and asked Jesse, hey, I don't know if I screwed this up or not, but it was crackling a little bit. He said that's fine. Usually you just need to put more heat, more oil, or both. And I translate that to I haven't heated it up enough for it to let me do what I want it to do. So I did that, and it didn't make any more noises.
Osage, it's real. To me, it's easy. It's not, I just, and I don't mean to be saying that I'm the best warrior out there, but I can actually make a bow in my sleep real easy. I mean, it's not, now there's, because it's easy. It's easy for me. It's natural.
Right.
I mean, I don't. It's not, and whenever a knot comes up, I don't even worry about them. At first, when my grandpa was first showing me, I was nervous as hell, just the same way you've been around these knots, I was nervous. But
only because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, my greatest fear was pulling back on a giant deer, and that was one of my awfulest dreams I ever had, pulling back on a giant deer, and I pulled my bow back and broke. And that was one of my dreams that I kept on having, recurring dreams that I kept on having, And he told me, he said, well, if the bow was meant to break, it was meant to break. He said, but if it don't break in the first 100, 150, 200 shots, it ain't going to break.
Yeah.
So, there's been guys says, well, I shot my bow 200 times, on the 201st time it broke. Well, evidently there was a hinge in there somewhere, because a hinge will break a bow.
Hey, well, I got you on the phone. I might as well ask you some of these questions.
Go for it, man.
All right, so let's start kind of the beginning process then. What about, like, say you get someone gives you some wood, and then you need to season it. What do you do?
Okay. Well, the way I like to do it is when I go out and cut Osage, I look at the grain that the bark runs on the tree.
Uh-huh.
I try to get the grain on the bark to run naturally pretty straight. That's going to tell you that the wood doesn't have any twist in it. Now, if you see the bark on the wood, all of a sudden it makes little right-hand turns or left-hand turns. There's going to be a twist in the wood.
Okay.
We have straightened this bow as if you were looking at the side. We straightened it out that way. Now we're going to straighten it out as if you were looking at either the belly or the back of the bow. Straightening the limbs out in that direction. Y'all gonna have to forgive me. For some reason, I have neighbors that make ultralight planes. You know, those new boats with hand gliders on them or whatever. They're messing with that stuff. But here is what we got. So you can see, I'm sure, that there's some straightening up needs to be done on this bottom limb. And however, the top limb looks pretty good. I like it so far. We'll just move all of this stuff over this way. Alright guys, you're just going to have to deal with the noise. And we've got those ultralight people over there making some airplane boats, glider boats. I don't know what you call them. But anyways, they're actually pretty cool looking. But I'm not going to be the one guy that takes a video of them doing their work over there, because that's just creepy, right? So I have this thing locked down and ready to go. This is the limb that we need to straighten out, and I went ahead and oiled it with the olive oil. I'm going to heat it down and clamp it. And we'll see. I may be even able to take the twist out of this limb all together all at once, because it's better to just kind of reduce the amount of heats that you put on a limb anyway. So let's get this party started.
Yeah.
So
you can see that in the bark.
You can see it in the bark.
Okay.
And I've seen some Osage trees that actually in the bark, they look like, they remind me of the barber shop little thing in there, the spiral, red, white, and blue, little spiral, red, whatever it is, you know?
The bloodletting sign.
Exactly. There's some Osage trees that I looked at that you can see that thing just spiral all the way up like that.
Uh-huh.
You don't want one of them staves. You don't want to even cut that tree down. Just leave it alone, you know?
Gotcha.
I like to look at the wood. Once I cut it down, as soon as I cut down the tree, I split it.
Okay.
I split it, and once I split it, then I take some wood glue and put on the ends, and then I actually take one of them little pump-up garden sprayers that you use for spraying your garden for insects and whatever.
Yeah, I got you. Yep. The little tank.
I get me about a gallon of diesel fuel, and I spray the exposed wood. Not what I sealed, but I leave the bark on the stave. Okay, I leave the bark on the stave. All I do is split it. The rest, I seal the ends with wood glue, and then what I do is I spray it down with diesel. Then I lay the pieces of the staves on the rafters in the barn. That way it keeps it up to ground, up in the air. That way air can circulate in there, and then just let them dry. And I've had staves drying for 2 or 3 years, you know.
But in general, how long do you want to season it before you work it?
Actually, a stave during the summer will dry real good in about 3 months. But
okay.
I don't like using a stave after 3 months of drying. You know, I usually give them 6 to 9 months, and then they're ready to go. You know. Right. 6 to 9 months, because then I can take the bark off real easy, take the sapwood off, and once I take the sapwood off, when I start the bow, once I take the stop foot off and I work it down to single ring, and then I take some polyurethane or some shellac and go over the back of it.
Okay.
And just let it dry, and let it sit like that. It's going to be like a couple of days before I even start working on the stave, you know, because the stave, I mean, this is, once you take the wood, the sapwood off, this wood, the hardwood up under there, has never been exposed to air.
Right.
And once you expose it to air, it's going to crack. I don't care how dry or how good a bow you are, it's going to crack. So this is why as soon as I do that, then I seal it back up again. And it because you're actually, once you take the sapwood off, you shock the wood. You're shocking it. It's like when you go into shock when you get hurt, you know. I mean, people go into shock because they can't take the pain or a broken bone or whatever. That's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening to that tree limb, because actually it was a living thing at one time.
Right.
You know? So you have to, and the other thing I do, being Native American, when I cut down the tree, I actually take my hat off and get down on a knee and I pray.
Okay.
So we have a lot of different kind of things that we do. You know, I mean, like every animal. It doesn't matter when I bow hunt them. Deer, dogs, it don't matter what it is. I always say a prayer to them.
Show respect and thanks for the harvest, right?
Yeah. All right, when I harvest an animal, any kind of animal, it don't matter what it is, you know. But if I'm going to kill it, I'm going to eat it. If I'm not going to eat it, I ain't going to kill it.
Right.
That's my thing, you know. So I get down on a knee, and one thing I say, Aoahe. Aoahe means let the heavens open.
All right, so this is what I got so far. It's pretty good. I put the string on there, and it goes straight on down to Sydney. Little Nemo reference. Alright, so it goes straight. I got the propeller twist out. But, well, here's the area where the propeller twist was. Alright. But I also got a little crack. And it's going to show in a second. And here it is. Bam! Told you so. But Jesse Garcia said it's not that big of an issue if it's with the length of the bow. So, I'm hoping he's right. I got just a little teeny bit of homemade hide glue here. I'm going to throw it into the crack. Alright, that's it for this video. Click like, subscribe, share my videos with others. There's going to be more Osage bow building. Stay tuned!